trap. She whispers softly in my ear.
Just to say your last name.
Just find a place to make the set to get easy.
That's just the way it is. Sit down, see when things could only get better.
Yet the same in so many ways.
I no recollection of the last time I came here.
But if we get much closer, I could lose control. And if your heart surrenders, you'll need me to hold.
I wouldn't be myself without you. Take a piece, take a picture of me. I don't care what happens, see, 'cause I know I'm happy.
Hello everybody and welcome. Okay, this is Kandu Arts for Sustainable Development Open Mic for Open Minds, edition number 40. Okay, and if you're here, that means you've made it through the nightmare before, during and after Christmas. But we're still waiting for the nightmare that is New Year to kick in. I've just been to the shop, get a few little bits and pieces. All right, I was struck by the strange front pages on all the newspapers. Suddenly there's all this like sort of, this is going to be the start of the greatest period in British history. That's obviously like the Daily Express. All right, and all the mad Brexiteers along the Daily Fail and the Sun and the rest of them. But in other papers, there's the ongoing saga of Zanina Zacharia Radcliffe, who's still languishing in an Iranian jail because our people really haven't got a clue. They don't know how to protect their citizens, they don't know how to stand up for them, and they really haven't got a clue. And then sadly, on a related note, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the lady who's been spearheading the campaign to give Muslim women the opportunity to drive in Saudi Arabia has just been sentenced to 5 years in jail by a terrorist court. All right, now I know that there are fairly fluid definitions of terrorism, which are routinely employed by governments to make sure that they keep the upper hand. But surely we got to the point now where, you know, I mean, hey, but well, you know, here we are. Those jobs that the Saudis keep English people employed in making weapons for them, so they can sort of terrorise their own populations and anybody else around them that they feel with a complete impunity. They're very important now that we're sort of just signed off on our Brexit deal, because you know the truth of the matter is that our number one contribution to culture, apart from Shakespeare or Dickens, okay, seems to be the ability to wage mass warfare upon people, and to kid ourselves that that makes, you know, we are upholding democracy. So, as you can gather, I feel a little bit depressed, quite frankly. I mean, I'm glad to have made it through Christmas. I'm glad that I haven't actually lost the plot, even though it feels like the plot lost me. Okay, but I'm flabbergasted by the tsunami. That's probably the wrong word to use around about Boxing Day time. But for the complete rush of utter idiocy and sadness, in my view, that surrounds me, which is always pushed into sharp relief by you know, this time of year, when we're supposed to be celebrating how lucky we are. Okay, and as I said before, I've always been more impressed with New Year's as a holiday than Christmas. Okay, you know, but seems like Christmas was only really invented in sort of 1847 or whenever Dickens crystallised it in A Christmas Carol. But the New Year has always been special. Okay, and this year it's going to be very, very special because it's going to be the start of this brave new world we call, Brexit-free Britain. And I'm still waiting to see, what the benefits of that will be. But I'm not really holding my breath. I think, we're in for a rather terribly shocking and rude awakening when we realise that maybe we're not quite as important as we thought we were. And, maybe we should have put away a few more nuts for a rainy day than we have done. But hey, I'm sure that there's lots of people out there who are very happy that the Brexit sort of shenanigans will finally be over. But the truth is that they've only just begun. That's the beauty of all of these scenarios and all of these issues that we have, is that they never end. They're never satisfactorily resolved. Okay? You don't get VE Day very often, or VJ Day. Okay? Which is why I suppose they live in the memory, or they live in the popular consciousness at some sort of times. But, I hope that, 5 years from now, we're living in a prosperous, well-appointed country which has sorted out its relationships with Europe, that are no longer based on like sort of outdated Second World War attitudes, and that actually have got something to do with like sort of the new space coming forward. But hey, I'm not holding my breath on that. And the fact of the matter is, okay, is by the time all of this plays out, I'll be dust. And more than likely so will you, because this is stuff that's been going on. In the past we've had things like the 100 Years' War. I don't know. How do you wage war for 100 years? It takes some pretty serious enmity to make war for 100 years. And then what was it about? Can anybody remember? Does anybody care? All of it's done is gone towards sort of making us the country that we are and the people that we are, which, is our lived experience. But I'm actually, trying very hard to feel optimistic, and hoping against hope that the vaccine starts to make a difference into the new year, and that that the ridiculous amounts of infections which have now brought us to over 70,000 people in this country dead now of coronavirus, and 1/3 people dead in the United States. That's just, it's really, to be honest, it's twisted my melon a bit. I find it sort of very, very horrifying. But hey, like shit, and then you die. Okay, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, because you're going to die anyway, so you can choose. Hopefully, you can choose how miserable your life's going to be by what you choose to be exercised by and what you want to do with yourself. So I'm just grateful my children are well and my grandchildren are well, and my family, it seems to be bearing up. Various like sort of issues of translation and personal stuff that everybody's got to deal with. But hey, we're here. That means we still got a chance. So all I want to say is I'm amazed that we're here, and it's 40 weeks since we started doing our open mic, and we're still going strong, and we're still getting lots of people sending stuff into us, which constantly amazes me at how good it is and how much fun it is. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Kandu Arts and all the people at Kandu Arts who've helped to make this possible, especially to Ed and to Maja, and to Donna and John and Jenny, and Andy when we first started, Connor, And some of the people who've astounded me during this lockdown with their creativity and their willingness to sort of commit and get into it. Don Alexander, right? Annie Walker-Trafford. I'm just so blessed to know these people, have these people in my life, and be able to spend some time with them when things are getting better. I'm hoping that things get better. So I just want to say massive thank you to all of those people, all right, and wish them all the best for the new year, and wish you all the best for the new year. So I'm just going to let the music do the talking now. Let the people do the talking. All right, so let's check out who we've got on the open mic this week. Thank you.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart, then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude.
They say losing a child is the hardest thing a woman will ever go through. Well, I have a friend that makes me believe it's true. The day she collapsed into my arms, I honestly had no idea what to do. Her whole body shook with grief, aching to hold her child and never let go. Something has changed within her eyes. She smiles at the world, but when I allow herself to cry, her sparkle doesn't exist anymore. She won't allow me to hold her now. I just have to watch, helpless, let her howl and scream, curled up on the floor. Why would someone want to go through this alone? Everyone wondering why our warm hearts turn to stone. I stay silent, keeping my promise to never talk to anyone about what I know. She is now just a shadow, drifting silently among the crowds. She may be breathing, she isn't alive. Her shoulders are heavy, carrying copious amounts of guilt and shame, crushed by the pain of feeling like she is the one to blame. And there are just no words left to convince her that none of this is her fault. I don't know if she means it when she screams at me to leave. I think maybe she's just confused, too broken to know what it is she wants and needs. Well, no matter what she says, I'm not going anywhere. My heart may be broken, watching her clinging to the edges of reality, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere but here. So next time someone tells you there's nothing worse than losing a child, believe me, you'll never hear anything so true.
Holding hands with you, going amongst the years, making dreams come true, and living them anew. There's no one else like you, it feels like love. Holding hands with you is something like the sun. The flowers turn inside, the staring angels cry. I know the reason why it feels like love, feels like love. As I turn and catch your eye, the butterflies take flight. I'm dancing in the light. It feels like love, feels like love. As I turn and catch your eye, the butterflies take flight. I'm dancing in the light. It feels like love, dancing in the light. It feels like love. As I turn and catch your eye, the butterflies take flight. Dancing in the light, it feels like love, feels like love. As I turn and catch your eye. The butterflies take flight. I'm dancing in the light. It feels like love. I'm dancing in the light. It feels like love.
You'll take advantage till you think you're being used. Without an enemy, your anger gets confused. And I got stuck on a side, you know I never chose. But it's all about taking the easy way out for you, I suppose. There's no escape for you except in someone else. Though you've already disappeared within yourself, the invisible man is always changing clothes. It's all about taking the easy way out for you, I suppose. I heard you found another audience to bore. A creative thinker who imagined he was more. A new body for you to push around and pose. It's all about taking the easy way out for you, I suppose. It's all about taking the easy way out for you, I suppose.
Waking up, the sun is shining, beautiful morning, the clouds are flying. This is the time to be alive and moving along, it's no place for crying. Living our lives to the beat of the drum, giving our souls to the glorious hum. Nothing I've tried can I be undone, living and breathing together as one.
waking up, the sun is shining. Beautiful morning, the clouds are flying. This is the time to be alive and moving along, no place for crying. Our lives to the beat of the drum, giving our soul to the glorious hum. Nothing I've tried and I'll be undone, living and breathing together as one. He looked down into her brown eyes. He said, say a prayer for me. She threw her arms around him, whispered, God will keep us free. You could hear the riders coming. He said, this is my last fight. If they take me back to Texas, they won't take me back alive. 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun, praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. The battle stopped and the smoke was cleared. There was thunder from the throne. 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. She reached down and picked the gun up. It lay smoking in his hand. She said, Father, please forgive me. I can't live without my man. Now she knew the gun was empty, and she knew she couldn't win. But then her prayers were answered as the rifles fired again. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. As the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. 7 Spanish angels took another angel home.
Oh, the hills were alive with wildflowers and wilder than they. For at least I could run, they just died in the sun, and I refused to just wither in place. Just a wild mountain rose needing freedom to grow, so I ran fearing not where I go. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. And the flowers I knew in the fields where I grew were content to be lost in the crowd. They were commonly closed, I had no room to grow, and I wanted so much to branch out. So I uprooted myself from my home ground and left, took my dreams and I took to the road. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. I grew up fast and wild, and I never felt right in a garden so different from me. I just never belonged, I just longed to be gone. So the garden one day set me free. I hitched a ride with the wind, and since he was my friend, I just let him decide where we go. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. Just a wild rambling rose, seeking mysteries untold. No regrets for the path that I chose. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow.
So if you're here now, then it means that we've reached the end of our show, and that we've put in another killer, which I am so grateful and happy to be a part of. And if you would like to contribute to our open mic and have your efforts recorded for posterity in our sort of gallery of films and what have you, which I should say will be on constant rewind in the new Kandu shop, which will be opening in the precinct in the new year, then you can submit your efforts to openmic@kandu-arts.com, and we'll add you to our list of contributors, or contributors even. So I just want to say thank you very much. Happy New Year to all of you. And take it away, Mr. Deedigan. Thank you.
The old years come and gone, soon we'll all be done, looking for someone to have some fun. Troubles on the run, oh, where it all begun. 2020 vision is all put to the back. A history revisited, revisions and the rest. Revisions on the rack. Oh dear, what is for another time. You know it will turn out fine, and you and me rejoice. The girls and all the boys gotta find your inner voice, your inner child. Let your imagination run wild, just for a time. Depression's all but gone. Sing it out in song. Salvation won't be long as you just be you and no one else. Leave your egos on the shelves. No need for mental health issues if you find your voice. Find your truth. Find yourself. That's a wish for the new year for everyone. A spontaneous, burbled message of inner whatever. But the truth is in there somewhere. Anyhow, however you celebrated the last few days, me personally from the solstice, the 21st, this has been a week of joy, of seeing all sorts of different things come to fruition and looking to the future, whatever that may hold for us all, but looking to be of some service and help to those that need it. But at the same time, remembering to try and find the joy in all that we do and try and be as positive as we possibly can. Thank you all, and to you all I wish a happy new year, and maybe not a pandemic of any sort. Kindness, positivity. Yes, sirree. Thank you. Viva life.